It's NBC 26 at 10. President Trump continues to criticize the retail giants. Plus, the first woman to serve as the Attorney General in Wisconsin dies after a battle with cancer. And the spring storm not strong enough to change Easter plans in northeast Wisconsin. President Trump was up and tweeting about the Amazon and the Postal Service this morning. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell reports.
Today, during his motorcade ride to the golf course, President Trump delivered his own package of tweets, blasting Amazon with flawed accusations. This post office scam must stop. Amazon must pay real costs. The president's scorn for the online giant runs deep, conflating his anger at Amazon with the Washington Post, both owned by Jeff Bezos but operated separately, along simmering frustration.
The Washington Post, which I call a lobbying tool for Amazon. Okay, that's a lobbying tool for Amazon.
But experts say the president's claim that the post office will lose $1.50 on average for each package it delivers for Amazon cannot be backed up. Postal Service regulators approve contracts with companies like Amazon in advance and require that Postal Service costs are covered. But those agreements are not made public.
We don't know if each package makes $1, makes $2, or loses money. That data is just not available publicly, and I'm not sure where Trump is getting his figures.
The president's own 2017 financial disclosure form shows he reported gains from owning Amazon stock. But his businessman roots are in a brick and mortar world.
We're all builders in this room.
Amazon's rapid growth has pummeled shopping malls and traditional retailers.
As Amazon gets more and more powerful and as retail struggles, having the president point this out and attack the company certainly gives strength to the complaints that other folks have been having for some time.
And one day after an autopsy revealed he was shot 8 times, hundreds of people in Sacramento marched hoping to call attention to Stephon Clark's death. The rally was organized by former NBA player and Sacramento native Matt Barnes. Clark was shot and killed by 2 police officers back on March 18th. An autopsy commissioned by Clark's family shows he was mostly shot in the back.
This is a situation, it's more than color. It comes down to wrong and right. You know what I mean? It's wrong and right.
And Clark's family accuses the police department of trying to cover up misconduct by its officer, but the police department says Clark advanced towards the officers. Well, it doesn't exactly feel or look like spring outside for that matter. Let's check in with meteorologist Gino Recchia with a look at your first forecast. Gino.
That's right, Mo. We looked outside the window this morning and some of us, well, it was quite a bit of a different scene compared to yesterday. Several inches of snowfall came down, mainly along and north of Highway 29, near and even exceeding over a half foot up towards near the UP of Michigan. Even Sister Bay had 5 inches of snowfall. But now we're seeing quiet conditions and clearing skies, but those temperatures, they will be slowly dropping down into the teens overnight tonight. And then for Easter, might not even reach near or even above the freezing mark for many folks. I'll be talking more about that and also the potential for more snowfall in that forecast.
Gino, thank you. And here are some pictures that people have sent us from around the viewing area from today. Here is Michelle from Shawano and Terry from Little Swamico, and also Jill from Sturgeon Bay, and Josh also sent one from Seymour. And today's winter-like weather didn't stop many people from getting into the Easter mood. Green Bay's new zoo and adventure park welcomed guests today for its annual Extravaganza event. NBC 26's Matt Jarko has more.
Today at the new zoo and adventure park, we have Extravaganza.
A day to put winter to bed.
To celebrate springtime, believe it or not.
But today, Mother Nature crashed the party. Winter isn't quite done just yet. A snowy, chilly day kept some animals away from the hundreds of visitors. Some, but not all. The Easter Bunny gave out high fives, hugs, and candy. Officials say other animals are happy to see visitors too.
In the wintertime, when we don't have very many people in the zoo, the animals get kind of lonely. So they love to see people come back.
And those people, they like it too.
It's been great. It's been really wonderful. All the animals were great.
We just wanted to get out of the house, and it's Easter, and a little snow never hurt anybody.
Nor did it stop this Easter fun. The day also included a scavenger hunt, plenty of candy, games, and lots of smiles.
We're glad we came out. It was fun.
In Green Bay, Matt Jarko, NBC 26.
Matt, thank you. And a spring storm dumps upwards of 6 inches of snow through parts of central Wisconsin. Some places even recorded as much as 9 inches. The storm canceling Easter egg hunts and making hard for some tricky travel earlier in the day. Some people say they were hoping for spring-like temperatures. Others really aren't surprised.
This is part of living in Wisconsin. I was really kind of hoping to get my camper out today.
And highway crews were out in full force since about 3 o'clock this morning, working well into the afternoon to clear and salt the roads. And covering America now, the New York Times is reporting the Trump administration is moving toward rolling back emission and fuel economy standards for cars. Tighter regulations on greenhouse gas emissions were a central focus of former President Obama, but they were not very popular with many Republicans at the time. And President Trump campaigned on promises to cut them back. Some states do have their own rules, though, which are stricter than federal ones. Today was Rex Tillerson's last day as Secretary of State. President Trump ousted him earlier this month because of disagreements on North Korea, Iran, and trade. CIA Director Mike Pompeo will be filling his shoes. Tillerson says he's making sure his transition is smooth. Pompeo is expected to be confirmed in April. Starbucks and other coffee companies are getting ready to fight a new ruling about cancer warnings. While there's no scientific proof that coffee causes cancer, a chemical produced during the roasting process known as carcinogen, but even if the labels show up here, the coffee drinkers say it won't change their minds.
Would it stop me from drinking coffee? Probably not, because coffee is just so good.
And the coffee companies have 2 weeks to challenge that ruling, but if it does stand, companies could face penalties for not including that warning. And on to more state news. Wisconsin is mourning the first woman to serve as the state's attorney general. Peg Lautenschlager died today after a tough battle with brain cancer. Her husband says she was surrounded by family at their Fond du Lac home. Lautenschlager was elected Wisconsin Attorney General in 2002 and served that role for 4 years. She was 62 years old. And in a statement, Governor Walker said she was a dedicated and passionate public servant who became the first woman elected to serve as Attorney General in Wisconsin history. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family during this time. A major step in youth prison reform in our state. Governor Walker came to Milwaukee County Courthouse to sign the Juvenile Justice Reform Bill into law yesterday. The bill calls for closing the troubled Lincoln Hills Youth Prison and building some new facilities across the state. Lincoln Hills has been filled with inmate abuse allegations for many years, and the new law is getting support from both sides of the aisle.
This is not something that just happened out of the blue. A number of lawmakers, our secretaries of both Corrections and Department of Health Services have all been working on this for more than a year.
A lot of bad news coming from Lincoln Hills and Copper Lake. What we have right now is the fact that we finally turned a corner to say that we're going to redesign the system so those situations never, ever happen again.
And Lincoln Hills will be closed by the year 2021. And the governor also asked about eliminating the office of the state treasurer. It's up for vote during election on Tuesday. The office has already been stripped of most of its responsibilities. The current treasurer supports getting rid of the position, and Governor Walker said he does agree as well. The mother of the missing Reidsville teen is spending Easter weekend in Alabama searching for her son. Last night, a fish fry fundraiser was held for Jevin Lemke's family. The teen went missing last weekend when he was caught in a rip current. Lemke's mother says they're relying on their faith to get them through this troubling time.
Just continue to pray. I think that is the one thing that's keeping me going. Prayer is a strong thing. It really is.
And Holton will be staying with a woman who saw her plea on Facebook. Well, still ahead on NBC 26 at 10, our furry four-legged friends also got to enjoy some Easter fun, all for a great cause. But first, what's that weather going to look like for the rest of the weekend? Your forecast up next.
And now, your NBC 26 Storm Shield forecast with meteorologist Gino Recchia.
Temperatures are down into the upper 20s this evening after what seemed to be a normal winter day. Take a look at this time lapse where we had snowfall coming into the morning hours and turned the ground from a brown color into a white. and those roads quickly turned snow covered. We had as much as 2.5, 3 inches in the Green Bay area in just under 90 minutes. And now behind the storm system, temperatures down into the teens. Antigo 17 degrees, 17 also in Mountain, but holding on into the upper 20s from Kewaunee down towards Sheboygan, also 27 degrees in Fond du Lac at this time. But you take in these winds coming in out of the north and northwest between 5 to 15 miles per hour. And now we're going to be talking about the wind chill factor, feeling like 5 degrees up towards Antigo, 18 degrees in Menominee, 19 degrees right now feel like temperature in Manitowoc at this moment. But clearing skies are going to allow those temperatures to get even cooler, so those wind chill values continue to drop down, perhaps even into the lower teens and upper single digits by early tomorrow morning. But at least the sun will be out. We got a high pressure moving in behind the storm system that brought in that snowfall. Here it is right now moving into Canada, and a line of some showers and thunderstorms is stretching down towards the Ohio River Valley. But you see the slow pressure off to our west? That's our next storm system that could be bringing in another round of snowfall into the region. Winter storm watch is right now in effect for eastern sections of Montana, and the storm system, current projections, at least with some of the computer models, moving into Wisconsin, and it does have parts of even a good chunk of northeast Wisconsin under some pretty impressive snowfall totals. We won't get into numbers right now because there is still some deviation in the data. We still have to fine-tune that forecast. But for tonight, we'll cool down into the teens for overnight lows. Then for tomorrow, rising up into the upper 20s and lower 30s. Keep in mind, our average high temperature for this time of year should be in the upper 40s. Then we get into Monday morning, temperatures cool back down into the mid-20s and lower 20s. Starting off sunny, but notice towards our west, clouds rapidly increase, and by the mid-afternoon into the early evening, we start to see snowfall. This is the beginning of our next storm system, and we could see snow continuing into the day on Tuesday. For tonight, cooling down to an overnight low of 15 degrees. It will be chilly with those winds coming in out of the west and northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, rising up just a degree above that freezing mark. Winds out of the west and northwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then for our extended outlook, seeing a high of 41 on Monday. That could be the warmest day of the week. Then we do start to cool down. This looks like a mid-winter forecast. Highs only in the upper 20s and lower 30s. At least we expect a drier end to the work week. But Monday into Tuesday, Mo, we have to monitor that storm system. Could bring in several inches of snowfall into northeast Wisconsin. I know many of us are just hoping for spring weather. I'm sure you and I both the same.
You got to come clean. Is this an April Fool's joke on your part?
Oh, God. That would be a good one. But sadly, it looks like
I wish
it's
it
fact.
was.
I wish it was. You know, we're just wanting warm weather. The tulips can't even grow right now because of it.
I agree. All right, well, thank you so much, Gino. We'll still ahead on NBC 26 at 10. Our furry four-legged friends also enjoying some Easter fun and helping a great cause at the same time. That and much more after the break. Welcome back. Today, our furry four-legged friends also got to enjoy Easter weekend. The second annual Dog Easter Egg Hunt was held at the Brown County Pet and Exercise area in Hobart today. Each dog was given 5 eggs with some nutritious treats inside of it. And if a dog found a golden ticket in the egg, the owner gets a free annual dog press pass.
I don't think there really is anything else around here for the dogs. So that's kind of what gave us the idea. There's, a lot of Easter egg hunts for kids and things like that. And we just thought it was a fun way to get the dogs out there.
And proceeds from the egg hunt benefit shelter animals and the Brown County Parks Department for improvements to the dog park. And heading indoors now, dozens packed the University of Wisconsin Green Bay's Widener Center for the Royal Tea Party held right before Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. People enjoyed crown making, photos, and princess themed events and learned about princess etiquette as well.
And with a tea party, it kind of gets them into the space and kind of comfortable with it. And then when they go into the show, it feels more, it's a special experience for them.
And if you want to check out some performances at the Widener Center, Jersey Boys will also be showing at the end of April. Well, coming up in sports, the Final Four from San Antonio, plus the Brewers look to start their season with a series sweep of the Padres. We'll be right back.